Welcome to Leadership CEOs. You are here because you were made for more. Be a CEO, a creator of expansive opportunities. My name is Michelle Shutter, and I have a simple question for you today. How will you lead your ship? Because without a doubt, you were made for more, period. Fly your ship and let's get started. Hey there, CEO, creator of expansive opportunities. Welcome to Leadership CEO. Yes, CEO meaning creator of expansive opportunities. We are redefining CEO. And I'm just really honored that you are here, carving some time out of your day, whether you are catching the podcast or the video. It doesn't matter. It really just shows that you are committed to yourself and really committed to leading her ship. Yes, your ship, because there's just something about your situation that you know you were made for more. And I want to honor that, and I want to support you in that growth. So again, as I mentioned, I'm just really glad that you are here. If you are a first-time listener or first-time viewer, a quick introduction here. My name is Michelle Shutter, and I love to support heart-centered women just like you in really challenging the modern style of life so that you can take any size vision and create expansive opportunities in all areas of your life, because deep within your soul, you know that you were made for more, period. And I know that's you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening or watching. So this week, we are going to tap into how you get suckered into self-sabotage. And yes, being suckered, you're getting pulled in, you're getting just drawn back to that old self. Perhaps you don't even know there's an addiction to being in this state of self-sabotage. It really doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you 3 ways of how you are getting suckered into this. Know that there are a total of 5 ways that I've shared in this episode, and I have put that in the show links. So if you want to see the full episode, just know that in the description or in the show links, show notes, I should say, you will see links that will take you to the full episode. So, what is self-sabotage? Well, it's this state of resistance. And I like to think of it as we're really resisting expansion in some way. When we go into that state of self-sabotage, we see where we want to go. We can feel where we want to go, but yet we feel stuck in a sense. And it's that old self that really wants to keep us safe, that wants to take us back to our old ways. It doesn't want us to step outside our comfort zone. And so we get into this space of self-sabotage. It's really like our old self just trying to control and destroy anything new. Again, because it wants to stay safe. It doesn't like the unknown. It fears the unknown. What will happen? Where will you go? What will you do? Like all these negative energies in a sense, and negative from a sense of it doesn't serve you, right? It doesn't empower you. It doesn't uplift you. There has to be a duality in everything, because otherwise we wouldn't know what a positive situation would feel like without the negative. Now, just know that that old self, though, is super resistant. And I did a video and a podcast all about resistance a couple weeks ago. But, the old self is all resistant to garbage. It likes the garbage. It likes staying attached to the garbage. It likes those thoughts and limiting beliefs and the actions that really don't serve you. The old self likes that. And because it likes it, it will do anything that it can to keep you in that position. The old self also likes avoiding, doesn't like to get into new things. It likes to procrastinate. It likes to self-judge. So of course, when we are in any of those states, it makes perfect sense that that gateway, that sliding back, that being suckered, like pulled back, right, into self-sabotage is going to occur more easily. So today what I want to do is I just want to share some of those tips with you, some of those ideas, some of those things that could potentially pop up for you that would indeed take you back into self-sabotage. It would sucker you in. It would just pull you in. So it's really important for you to create that awareness so that you can dig your heels in and make that conscious choice of, you know what, not today. I am not going down that road of self-sabotage. I am going in this direction instead. And again, when you become more aware, like awareness is that first step, that's where you can begin to expand and begin to create those expansive opportunities. So let's get into, number one here. What I want you to keep in mind, though, throughout all this is that it's really a duel, right? It's a battle. It's a battle between your old self, the ego mind, and the true self, your higher self of who you are meant to be. And you're going to have that battle. It is completely natural. We cannot experience change without having that happen. It is going to be something that at times is going to frustrate you. It's going to want to back you against the wall. And at other times, it's going to be like enlightening. And you're going to want to take that action and it's going to feel good. But until you get in the ring and let it battle out, you potentially could be doing the same things over and over again and not even realize it. So it's really important that you become aware. So the first thing I want you to think of is how you get suckered into self-sabotage is when you are trying to go from A to F without going through B, C, D, E. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, we live in a society that has microwave results, right? We want things instantaneously. We want things to happen now. So you've set a goal, a direction, you have a desire, and you see where you are right now, and you want to get to that end, right? So there's a gap between there. Well, the problem is if we don't step into each of those other letters, B, C, D, E, on our way to F, we miss an opportunity to grow. And when we miss that opportunity to grow, essentially it actually slows us down. Now, don't get me wrong, you can speed through some of these other steps more rapidly, but to ignore them and not step on them or stop at them along the way, even if it's momentarily, it's going to hold you back. Because as I mentioned, there is so much to be learned at every single stage. No matter if it works in your favor, how you perceive it works in your favor or not, there is still growth that has to occur. So when you set that goal, when you set that intention, when you set that desire, know that yes, there's going to be a gap between A and F. Don't be afraid to go through all the steps to get there. Now, one of the quickest ways you can do that is to work with a coach. Like that will accelerate your ability to move A through F. But just know that through that process, there are important things that you have to grow, that are there for a reason. They wouldn't be there if you didn't need them. Okay, so that's number one. You're trying to go from A to F without going through those other steps. Number two, the second way that you are being suckered into self-sabotage is you're in overwhelm. Overwhelm is one of the quickest ways to get into self-sabotage. Now, I want you to think about times that you have been overwhelmed. What does that feel like? What does that look like for you? For me, it's that place of I've taken on too much. Like I neglected my boundaries. I didn't say no. I have so much on my plate. Like where do I start? And when I get into that mode, I can feel the avoidance start to creep in. That overwhelm state is not serving me at all. And I begin to shut down. And when you shut down, that's that sign of self-sabotage. It's that you are being suckered into self-sabotage. It's so important to remember that if you're growing a business or you're doing something new or you're moving on with your health or you have a goal that you're working towards and you're with your employer, whatever it is, you can't be the jack of all trades and master of none. And that sometimes when we do that, that's one of the quickest ways that will lead us to overwhelm as well, is that we're trying to do it all, but really there's other support that we could lean on. And we have to make sure that we keep our boundaries in place. And we have to see the empowerment behind the word no. Sometimes there are things that come across our plate that just don't serve us. But for whatever reason, out of guilt, out of obligation, out of the fear of being judged, we say yes. We say yes to those things that really don't bring us joy. And when we can stay in a state of joy, right, there's no way we can get suckered into self-sabotage. But when we go into that lower vibrational energy level and we are in that state of overwhelm, we are like our self-talk becomes really not serving us at all at a higher level, okay? All of those things come into place, and then we lean into that self-sabotage. It's almost like we want to throw our hands and we're just like sliding backwards instead of digging our heels in and saying, you know what? No, not today. This is what I can do different. This is the choice I'm going to make. Can you choose to stay in that state? Yes, you can certainly choose to stay in that state. If you're going to do that, then you have to put a time frame on it. How long do you want to stay in that state? A day? A week? A couple hours? What is it for you? But make that decision and allow yourself that time then just to be overwhelmed, to be in a state of just shut down. There's nothing wrong with that either. However, if you want to accelerate yourself, if you really want to move forward in a different way, then you have to know when you're going to pull that switch down and be like, no more. I'm moving forward. Okay? So number 2 then is overwhelm, really biting off more than is necessary. So those are, first of all, 2 ways now that you can get suckered into self-sabotage. And the third thing I want to share with you is really the third way that you can get suckered into self-sabotage is the state of the fear of growth, the fear of success. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's say you have a vision for something and you want to share that vision with people, and some people get it perhaps and some people don't. And there are people who you thought, oh my gosh, this would really serve them. This would really help them in some way. And you hold on to this fear of success, and it really leads you down this self-sabotage road. Because here's the thing. When you fear success, you don't step into your higher self, your true self of what you are meant to do, the message you are meant to leave. When you are in this state of self-sabotage, you really are in this place of the fear of leaving others behind. And when you fear that you are going to leave others behind, it all starts the walls start to crumble in around you. So I want you to think of this. The fear of leaving others behind, it's really about their journey. It has really nothing to do with you. And this took me a long time to figure out, because I just want to support people in whatever way I can. And yet I had to realize that they have to go down this journey of self-sabotage sometimes. They have to let it unfold for them in a way that they are going to get the most growth. If they don't see the vision that I share, if they don't see the shortcuts that I'm offering, that's okay, because the plan is perhaps different for them. You can't hold the responsibility of wanting something for someone more than they want it themselves. that will never serve you, and it will lead you down the road of self-sabotage, because then you second guess yourself. And you should never do that when you are coming from a heart-centered place and when you are connected with your true self, and you know, your message is going to impact people. The opportunity is there for them. You just have to focus on your success and let them make the decision if it is right for them. So I've gone over 3 things now of how you get suckered into self-sabotage. Trying to go from A to F without making all the stops along the way, being in that state of overwhelm, and number 3, the fear of growth / the fear of success when you feel like you are leaving others behind. These are really important things to reflect on, to look at, to see how are these showing up in your life. What could you do differently? Now, remember that I said that these just were 3 of the ways that you can get suckered into self-sabotage. There's actually 2 more ways that I shared, and I will drop that full video link in the show notes or in the description so that you have it. Also know that self-sabotage is a way of really disconnecting from your true self. That self-sabotage just is that ego mind. It's the old self. It's wanting you to be controlled. And again, it doesn't serve you. What I did for you, though, is that I put together a PDF of just 9 different ways that you can reconnect with your true self. Check the description, check the show notes for that. That is there for you too. You can download that. It actually will be sent to you via Messenger, and then you can download it right from there. So any questions on any of this, as always, feel free to reach out to me. Send me a message. Let me know what you're taking away from this. How is this impacting you? How will you challenge the modern style of life where self-sabotage is the way to go, right? There's so many people, once you become aware, if you look around and see people over and over again, they just self-sabotage themselves in so many ways because they're suckered into it and they don't even realize it. It's just a clue, a key that they've become disconnected from their true self. So again, all that information, that free PDF will be available to you. Check the description, check the show notes. Let me know what you're taking away. And I would love for you, if you know of someone that would really benefit from this video, this podcast, make sure that you tag them in this and let them know that it is really important for them to move out of that self-sabotage state. So have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Hey, it's Michelle. If you got value from this, I would be so grateful if you would share this message with a girlfriend, a teammate, a coworker, a neighbor, a sister, someone that is ready to lead her ship and become a creator of expansive opportunities. Because after all, you were made for more. We were made for more, and we're in this together. Fly your ship.